Villanova came in here. Maddie Weber had like an unbelievably great night, and like what is our challenge at times. We had trouble scoring the basketball at times, and it's not a good combination. Try to get some other people in there to score the ball, and just had a challenge with that. And then Bosco hits a really big shot late, and then that offensive rebound was a really big offensive rebound late too. Just for us to try to get back in. But yeah, I give a lot of credit to Villanova and what Maddie Weber got done from the jump.
Questions for Jori? Nick, go ahead.
Jori, what's it like as a leader on this team as your team goes through some extended scoring droughts to just try to keep morale up so it doesn't extend even further than it probably should?
I try to tell my teammates what I like to hear when I'm having trouble scoring. It's, keep going at it, get it done on the defensive end, keep bringing energy, find rhythm shots within the offense. Don't feel like you have to do it all by yourself. I try to verbalize what I like to hear when I'm struggling, and then I try to get to my spots and get some buckets. Whenever it feels like we haven't scored in a while, you kind of feel that throughout the game. Sometimes it's hard to keep track when you're in the midst of all the chaos. But when I feel like we need one, I try to demand the ball, and my teammates do a great job of getting me the ball where I like to have it, and that's 15 feet and in. But yeah, it's just constant effort and constant communication with my teammates and trying to get it in the bucket myself.
Just with such a hot start from Maddie Weber, going into the second quarter, what do you think that you had to do to hold your own and just be within the game?
Yeah, Maddie Weber, she came out and I think she had 4 threes in the first quarter. She's a really, really good player, really, really hard to guard. We switched our matchups. I started off on her. We switched our matchups going into the second quarter, and then I thought as a team we were much more in sync defensively in the second quarter, and that always leads to better offense for us. Whenever we are, really, really focused and helping each other on defense, our offense is always so much better. So to be able to get some stops and then get some buckets, that got us even in the second quarter. It was just unfortunate that it slipped away from us late in the game.
Jori, what's it been like for you, and what has allowed you to really unlock this extra scoring? Like, you're consistently putting up 18, 20, 23, 30 points night in and night out. So is there anything specific that you can really point to that has really allowed you to kind of get to that next level and be more consistent?
I shoot the ball a lot. It's Coach Bruno always used to say, if you make half your shots, you're going to the Hall of Fame. And it's easy to score 20 when you get to shoot 20 shots a game. And Jill has all the confidence in me in the world, and she puts me in position in the offense we run to be so involved in the actions. I'm rarely not involved in the action, whether it's screening or I catch the ball and my girls are cutting around me. I have the ball in my hands and I have the freedom to shoot the ball and take the shots that I'm confident in taking. And it's just been consistent work throughout my career. I feel every year I've been more confident and more refined as a player. I'm a 6-year grad student. This is how I should be playing. You know the game. You know what the coaches expect of you. You know your system, and my teammates have that confidence in me in the world too. And when the people around you are encouraging you, even nights when I am struggling from the floor. It's just the confidence to keep going, confidence to make free throws. I'm really proud of my free throws, even though I haven't been shooting them as well as I would like to this year. But it's just when you have the freedom to play and you know what you're doing and the people around you want you to keep going, it's not that hard.
Thank you, Jori.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Jori.
When you take a look at Nataya, she's kind of gotten some extended run the last couple of weeks, and she's been really impressive on the rebounding side. Can you talk about kind of her development through the start of the season to what has allowed her to get to this point now?
Sure. She's she's just continued to work hard and stayed with it. She the transition I think was big coming into college, and then just the expectations and the demands, and kind of figuring out, we continue to work with them playing to their strengths, so kind of figuring out what that is. And for Nataya, even early on, I can remember saying before we're going to play Texas, hey, Nataya, you have an opportunity to get in here because of her approach. She works hard. She's a very aggressive player. And she's a very, she plays with like a lot of confidence because of her aggressiveness. So what's gotten her on the floor is her defensive effort and her defensive execution. And then she's very active on the glass, and she's doing a lot better job at this time of the season of taking care of the basketball. That was a big challenge for her early, primarily like in practices, and she's done a good job understanding what it is to take care of the basketball and to just slow down a little bit, try to work on playing off of 2 feet. And once she kind of got that figured out, her defensive ability and persistence and desire to be great on the defensive end is what's gotten her on the floor.
With only 4 games left in the regular conference season, is there anything that you want the team to focus on in terms of gameplay?
I think it's our overall consistency. We get big nights here and there from players, but I think it's just our overall consistency, like to be able to night in and night out, pretty much be able to count on certain things from certain players. So, the league is interesting this year. Connecticut, I think they're an obvious number one in this league. But then after that, I think everyone has the ability to beat everyone, but with that, you got to be ready because anyone can beat you. And this league, there's not enough separation that if you have a bad night, it's hard to get through it with a win. So I think just overall consistency. And now we continue to work to just take it game by game. And when we played Marquette at the end of December, I don't think we gave them our best game by any stretch. So we'll get together tomorrow and Friday and look to have a better effort and execution on Saturday.
Jill, in terms of these extended scoring droughts that you guys have kind of consistently had, especially in Big East play, how frustrating is it for you and your staff to just kind of go through the film the day after and find the shots that you thought you could have potentially had that could have potentially swayed the game? Because it's been a couple times this season where you've had a chance at the end, but you've also had these 5-minute plus scoring droughts.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of it is. The players who are out there they're out there because of their defending. Like, we have to win by defending and rebounding. And our best defenders, some of our better scorers are on the bench, not able to play. Having Kate back is good. She gives us someone out there who can score. But in terms of like frustration, I mean, part of it is just knowing ourselves and the kids who have the ability to score in a different variety of ways. They've got to find way. They've got to continue to look for those spots. Summer knows she's great at driving the ball. She's great at back cutting. There's certain ways, and then just being able to stay in the moment on the offensive end and trying to get to those spots. But it's. We know we're going to have those scoring droughts. That's who we are. We don't have enough kids out there who can really score the ball. So that's what's going to happen sometimes. Jori talked about us utilizing her. Yeah, we love to get the ball through her in her hands because of her ability to score and her ability also to pass the ball. So it's going to be hard to just completely avoid scoring droughts with our team because of. People are focusing on Jori, and they're sending 2 or 3 players. Nataya's strengths are on the defensive end of the floor. When she's going to be able to score on the offensive end, she's putting it to the floor. She might have a little bit of a pull-up. She's got to get off an offensive rebound. But it's not just simple run down the floor and get a shot up.
In terms of getting the ball to Jori, do you guys as a staff have to get more creative in the ways you use Jori? Because that's essentially been the scouting on DePaul. You are going to get the ball to Jori and just kind of let her do her thing. Do you have to be more creative because that's what the other team is scouting you guys on? We try to find other ways to get her the ball, but really she does a great job of breaking to the open spot. Like, part of getting the ball, and this is what all of our players are still learning and not mastering, is just if you're guarded, you got to cut, you got to move, and sometimes we have a tendency to stand. But Jori, she cuts to the open spot. When we're having trouble breaking pressure, she's cutting to the middle of the floor. She's cutting there. She's making herself available for her teammates. So we're continuing to look how to get her the ball. It's not like we've had the hardest time
getting her the ball. She's been able to get a fair amount of shots up per game. The tough part for her is she's getting double and triple teamed, and she's got to find ways to kind of still be patient when she catches, and then figure out, if she can score simple or what she's got to do in order to get a good shot up on the rim. But she's been doing a great job of figuring that out.
And then in terms of the injuries, because you guys are kind of at the end of the season, are there any of your current injured players you are expecting back before the end of the year? Or would it be safe to say that they won't play the remaining regular season?
I mean, I'm not the medical person, but we hope to get, Grace hopefully can get back, but everyone's body heals at a different rate. And, if she has the opportunity to play, then that would be a good bonus for us. It's been great getting Kate back, but, it hasn't been easy for Kate because Kate got back and then she got injured again. And now she's just now kind of getting back into the mix. So, having Kate on the floor really helps. You talk about Jori. If Kate's out on the floor, that spaces the floor. People have to worry about Kate, and that gives Jori a better opportunity to catch and operate in the paint. But, Grace is another three-point threat for us. So if we could get her, if she became available, I think it would help us.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, thanks you guys for coming.